NNRG.
Okay, so just to quickly explain why there's no voting this week or next week, it's because we've only got three more episodes of No Nostalgia Retro Gaming for the C64 before we switch over to the TurboGrafx 16. And I was looking through the list of nominations and noticed there were only 2 people who haven't yet had at least 4 nominations show up on the show. So I figured one of these people, they've only had 1 show up. So I figured it's high time to just give them a break, let their nomination show up on the show, and that'll fill this week, and it'll fill the next episode a couple weeks from now, and then the 100th one, because it's every 50, I prefer to put in my own game selections. It'll be my own game selections being voted on, and then we move on from there. So that means today we're looking at Laser Zone, which I don't know what to expect here, but nobody wanted to vote for this one. It's been in the running for a long time. Let's see, is it really that bad? Is it really that good? Is it really that boring? Oh, that loaded quick. Okay, original concept by Jeff Minter, 1983. Oh, wait a minute, this is another one of the Jeff Minter games. Okay, so that means this could be incredibly obscure. But then it loaded very quickly, so that kind of suggests to me that maybe there isn't that much to this one. So we got solo, individual, level joysticks. Okay, so we can change it between solo and competition. We can change it between individual and cooperative. We can change the level up to, okay, it goes from 1 to 9. And then joysticks. So is that like selecting the joysticks port? And I'm already dead. Okay, trying that again. Well, that's interesting. So, okay, I have control over 2 turrets that both fire simultaneously. Interesting. Oh, and I can angle them? Oh, and I can also shoot my own turrets. Okay, this game's got some layers to it. I also noticed there's like a threshold thing at the bottom there. Like maybe that's how many enemies we have to destroy before. Whoa. Okay, this is tricky. Okay, I figured out this joysticks thing. It's not saying whether or not you're using joystick port 1 or joystick port 2, it's saying whether you're using one joystick to control both turrets, or 2 joysticks, whereas one joystick controls one turret and another joystick controls another turret. So that kind of makes it weird though, in the sense that if you're saying like solo individual, like I'm gonna guess here that if we change it to a different mode, then you would pretty much have to use, like... Yeah, because if I put it on the cooperative here, it automatically sets it to 2 joysticks. Okay, I see. So solo or competition determines whether or not you've got 1 score or 2 scores going. And individual and cooperative determines how many people are actually in control. You know what? Maybe I should just look at the manual. Okay, so according to the manual, the way this works, solo individual basically means 1 player controlling both turrets. Competitive individual means 2 players taking turns controlling both turrets. Solo cooperative means 2 people each controlling one of the turrets, but only with a single score going. And then competition is 1 player controlling each turret, playing at the same time, with different scores depending on which turret hits which targets. So it's kind of a weird way of setting things up, but at the same time I get what it's going for here in trying to give options as to how the game is going to be played. Also, the Commodore button activates an electro feature for zapping all the enemies, which I see you get like 3 electro bolts at the side there. Just make sure that works. Wait for some enemies. Oh yeah, that works. Okay. And then the diagonal shot is something where you have to actually hold the button down, and then you can sort of like angle your shots. But it doesn't... There seems to be limits as to which directions. Like, you can angle the side turret diagonally like that, but you can't angle it diagonally the other way. Whereas the bottom turret can be angled this way, but it can't be angled the other way. So that's how you clear away any enemies that happen to get to one of the rows and starts chasing your turret down, is you have to use the diagonal shots to shoot them down in that case. Oh, the screen just flashed. Oh, zone 1 cleared. Okay, and I got another Electro. So I'm guessing we're on the second level now? Oh yeah, the enemies are coming in a bit more numerously now. Okay, one thing I'm noticing, which is a little annoying, is sometimes the shots actually pass through the enemies. That seems a little weird. It doesn't always happen, but it seems to me like the collision detection is not perfect in this game. Also, if you hold the button down, it will continuously fire, but the only trouble with that is that you can only have 2 shots in the air at a time, so it makes it a little harder to be pinpoint accurate with your shots if you're rapid firing. But it's nice that the option is there in case you want to do it. I've managed to make it to level 2 again, and there's a definite increase in difficulty because now there's so many more than just 2 enemies can show up at a time. Oh, but I seem to have already made it to the end. Okay, I got another Electro. I did have to use one earlier. Oh, we got new enemies now. So I guess maybe the enemies do change up every few levels. These ones seem to move faster. That's not going to bode well for the 4th level, because that means you got to be much faster on the draw to get these guys. Now, I do like that when you lose a life, you don't lose progress towards the next zone. Whoa, what the heck is... Okay. Something just started shooting at me. Don't know what that was about, but whoa. Yeah, they really gun at you here in the 3rd level here. Actually, let's go back to that. So, level 3. Now, even though it only goes up to 9, I think the manual said there was something like 20 levels or something like that. Or wait a minute. They seem to be moving slower again. Maybe these particular enemies move faster the further into a level you are? That could be what's going on. Part of why I'm not using the Electro as much as I should is because... Oh wait, there's that thing again. It's like, takes pot shots at my... Yeah, that's... that's very hard to deal with. Mainly because you have so much other stuff going on screen at the same time, and the Electro doesn't get rid of it. So whatever that thing is, you gotta get it yourself. If it's even possible. Funny thing is, I thought would think that this level here would be much more difficult, but it's actually not so bad so far. Okay, that thing up there takes multiple hits. I say it's not that bad, I'm already dead. Okay, let's get rid of the enemies there. Oh yeah, I did get it. Okay then. Okay, level 5, and we got new enemies still. Although they don't seem to be behaving any differently than previous enemies. Although I do notice now that the enemies that move horizontally are white, and the enemies that move vertically are yellow. So I guess that does kind of help keep things organized in a sense. Although I gotta stop getting shot, because that's a very quick way to not get through this. But, I mean, I cleared that one. And we get another Electro. So that's a good thing to know, is that because you get another Electro at the end of every level, so long as you don't use more than 1 Electro per level, that seems like a winning strategy almost. Like, don't be afraid to use just 1 Electro when you really need it. Okay, down to my last life again. Let's see if we can make it past this level here. Okay, gotta use the Electro. Because I know I could aim the turrets upwards, but... Oh, jeez. I'm actually gonna have to do that if I could manage. It really does overwhelm you on the even-numbered levels. Well, instead of going back to that level, let's actually just move on to 7 here. See what the enemies are like here. Okay, there come the enemies. And they're not really moving any differently than before. Although I do notice these enemies are kind of small. So that whoops, shot my own turret. So yeah, that does make these enemies a little more difficult to deal with because of their smaller size, but... Oh geez, whatever that thing was that shoots back at your turrets, it just came on screen and just went straight for my turrets, shot them down real quick. So yeah, the difficulty definitely goes up with each level. So yeah, the odd-numbered levels are the easy ones, and the even-numbered levels are the hard ones. Because on the even-numbered levels, you have to deal with many more enemies at a time. Whereas on the odd-numbered levels, it's only a small number of enemies at a time. Though I imagine that thing that shoots is about to show up. Just like that. Okay, so that was Laser Zone. It is a very simple game when it comes down to it, but kind of an interesting concept, given the fact that this came out in '83. So there wouldn't have been much to compare it to by this point. So the idea of having 2 separate turrets, one locked horizontally and one locked vertically, both of which count towards a single life for the player. Thus you have to keep both of them alive. Like, in some ways I think it would have been more interesting if you would have to lose both turrets before you actually lose a life. But, you know, it again, new concepts, it still works the way it is. So, yeah, very simple game, but works for what it is. And definitely gets harder the further in you get.